help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may put your hand down. Mr. Stetson, before we proceed, I'm going to try to briefly address some important constitutional rights and protections that you have. The first one being the right to remain silent. That is a right that means that you do not have to make any kind of statements. You don't have to answer questions, and you don't have to submit paperwork, especially any papers that admit or confess to wrongdoing. You understand you have that right.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to a jury trial. That means that you and your attorney could pick out, with the state on the other side, you could pick out 6 jurors from a pool of disinterested parties, a panel, you would call it, and those 6 people would hear the evidence, testimony, whatever is there, and make a determination whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's the right to demand a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Right. You also have the right to confront witnesses. That means that you and your attorney could question, cross-examine, or challenge any witness who would testify. That's called the right to confront witnesses, also commonly called the right to face your accusers. You understand you have that right?
Yes, I do.
There's another right called the right to appeal. Basically, what that is the right to demand, either you do it, your attorney does it, or the two of you together. You could demand that a higher court review the official record on this proceeding, and that's being taken by my court reporter, Ms. Kayleen Rivera. You could review that official record, the evidence, testimony, everything, for whatever challenge you wanted to make. That's called the right to appeal. You'd have to follow the right procedures, the right paperwork, and time limits. You understand you have the right to appeal?
Yes, I do.
Finally, you have the right to demand that this proceeding be held in the open public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're conducting this by video conference. It is being streamed on YouTube, which makes it somewhat public. Anyone in the world can tune in and watch and hear. But it is not being done in the courtroom, public courtroom, which is what the law requires. In order to proceed on this, you would have to approve or agree to a video conference as opposed to a public courtroom. You understand you have those rights that I have just explained to you?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you proceed with your plea, you will give these rights up. Is that understood?
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm going to show you some papers, and those papers let's see. Those papers are going to have at the top of each paper what I call identifying information. They will show the case number, court number, and it'll have your name. It'll identify it. I'm trying to find it here. I'll be right with you. Okay. All right, I've got the plea agreement. There's a separate set of papers as the other papers. Is that right, Mr. Edelman?
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
And I attached them both in the email that I sent to you at 11:03.
Okay. Darn it. Came back to the plea agreement. All right. I think if you look at your screen, you can see what I call identifying information at the top of this document. Right below that, it has the title of the document. This one in particular says States Consent to Video Conference. I mentioned to you a while ago that you and the state have the right to demand this matter be held in public courtroom. So they have to agree to it unless we're going to go to the public courtroom. This is